What's going on, everyone? Michael Pasha here, doing this video to talk to you about a special topic, which is people hate to be sold. As you have heard before, I'm sure people love to buy. We even talked about this the other day. People love buying things. It gives them endorphins, but they hate to be sold. So what do you do? What do you do if you're a marketer or a salesperson if people love to buy and hate to be sold? Well, this kind of goes back to also the discussion we had the other day about content marketing, right? The idea with this is the old way of selling, in which you're coming off as super sleazy and super salesy, and you're using like old sales tactics, really doesn't work anymore. And I guess for some people that's probably not true. I'm sure it works to some extent, but a better and more effective way to go about it is kind of where I got the name for the group is it's inception marketing, right? Inception marketing in sales. And essentially what that is one, it is coming off and allowing people to draw their own conclusions that they want to buy something instead of you trying to tell them that they want to buy it. And so how do you help them draw their own conclusions? If you overtly come out to someone and you say, like, here are all the features and benefits, and this is why you need it, and you should buy, they know the idea came from you. And the idea coming from you builds up and sets up an automatic resistance from them. People automatically get on guard, and they start finding ways to set up objections to whatever you have to say, right? But to help people keep their guard down, you do everything to avoid sounding like you're trying to sell them, sounding like you're trying to convince them one way or another. And essentially all you're doing is you're just providing information. You're just providing value, and you're just helping them walk themselves through the process of realizing that this product or service is something that they need, something that they want, something that can solve a problem to help them move away from a pain or move toward a pleasure. And so from a content marketing perspective, when you're writing blog posts and you're just kind of talking about a topic in general and providing information, at the end of a blog post, the way a lot of people will do this is they'll, pose the solution. They'll have a post about a problem that someone's going through, maybe even sharing a story. And at the end of the post, they'll provide, a kind of light suggestion that, hey, if you're looking for a solution to this is something that you might want to try. Here's my product. It does X, Y, and Z. Check it out, right? No hard sell, no big, close or anything like that. And the same thing goes for something that a lot of people don't want to do, which is closing people on the phone. Now, closing people on the phone is something that I think is extremely effective. It's most worthwhile for high ticket sales. So these are things that you're selling that are, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $20,000, $30,000 and up, right? Things that people aren't going to feel comfortable making a buying decision about just through a video sales letter, just through a webinar, just through something without having an opportunity to actually speak with someone. And so closing people on the phone works the exact same way. Instead of coming all super salesy and talking to people in a kind of sleazy, pushy manner, it's really just having a conversation like you would with a friend, addressing them in the same way and just kind of helping them walk through the process, asking them strategic questions to try to figure out what is it that's actually making their lives hard. What is it that they're actually looking for? What problems are they having? A big mistake that a lot of people make is they start going into solutions before they even really understand what the problems are. And if you start going into solutions already and you don't really understand the problem, the person will automatically feel a disconnect, because they're like, wait a minute, you're already telling me this is a solution, but you don't even know what my real problem is. And you're also not able to draw that bridge between how the solution can actually help the person solve the problem, because you don't really know what their problem is. You're making an assumption about what their problem is unless you ask them specifically and dig into it a little bit deeper. And so when it comes to even things like email marketing, it's really the same thing. It's coming across as someone who's just providing information. You're telling a story, you're sharing things, you're not trying to sell them, you're really indifferent to whether or not they make the decision or not, and you're just providing them options. You're saying, hey, these are pains that people likely have, this is a pain that you likely have, because if you're writing ad copy or you're writing an email, you don't really have an opportunity to ask the person specifically what your problem is, as you would on a phone call. So you do have to make assumptions there, but you're still walking them through the same process of you're making an assumption, hey, this is a problem. Maybe you're even telling a story about someone else who had a problem similar to what you're assuming they have, how they came to the solution. So you're walking them through that thought process, so they can kind of walk themselves through the process as well throughout, as they're reading your email, as they're going through your ad campaign or sales funnel or webinar, whatever it may be. And then as they get to the end, they're provided with an option that is a solution. But the one thing that's important to do at the end, no matter whether it's an email or it's a webinar or it's a phone call, is to draw a big contrast between where the person currently is and the pain associated with that, and where they want to be, and the joy associated with that. And showing them, if you don't take some sort of action, you're just going to stay in the same place that you are right now. So there is, even if you may be, the prospect may be nervous about taking action because they're afraid, oh, this won't work, or I'm going to lose a whole lot of money or whatever. You have to also show them, what is the price you're paying by not taking action? How much money are you losing out on by not buying my program? How much money are you losing out on by not taking on my service? How much money are you losing out on? Or if it's not a monetary goal that they have, how much happiness are you losing out on? Or how much suffering will continue or pain will continue in your life if you don't take action on this? How much longer are you willing to put up with this? And so just showing them that there is not only a benefit to buying, but there's a negative consequence to not buying. And that's just as powerful as showing them the benefit of buying. But again, it's allowing them to draw the conclusion themselves, not being pushy, not drawing the conclusion for them, because it's the inception process. It's allowing them to draw that conclusion themselves. So that's just something to chew on for today. And if you have any comments about that, I'm curious to know what you think about this process. Drop a link or drop a comment below. If you have any questions, drop a question in there, and be sure to answer anyone's questions. I'll be going through the questions and comments myself. And yeah, I'll see you on the other side.